Good morning, North Carolina disciples. My name is Emily Viverette. I'm an ordained minister in the Christian Church, and I work in chaplaincy at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center. I'm speaking from the top of one of our employee parking decks. You can see the hospital back there behind me. I'm not here today, though, as a representative of Wake Forest Baptist, but rather as one of the ministers and laypersons in our region, inviting you to join us this Holy Week for prayer for everyone impacted by COVID-19. We are all experiencing a Holy Week as no others have in our lifetimes. Today's scripture revolves around the third of Jesus' 7 last words, John 19:26 through 27. When Jesus saw his mother there and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to his mother, "Dear woman, here is your son," and to the disciple, "Here is your mother." I've always been moved that Jesus was able to offer care to those he loves, even in his greatest moment of pain and despair. Here he assured that his mother would be cared for beyond his death, and we are told that his beloved disciple did take him into his home. While these are powerful words, I also find myself reflecting on Mary's experience and her perspective. What it must have been, the agony of watching her child brutally attacked and then die a slow, painful death. As a mother myself, I can't imagine watching this unfold. And as a mother, I can't imagine tearing my eyes away from my child, my sacred and beloved baby. A child whose last human touch while he was alive was cruel and torturous. How do you imagine Mary felt to have been so close and yet so far away? What might Mary have given to offer her baby a tender caress or a gentle touch? In this day of sheltering at home, many people are sacrificing and remaining separated from those they love to flatten the curve and save lives. And we thank you. You all are so close, simply a phone call or a FaceTime away from a loved one, and yet so far. You're not able to hold your loved ones close or offer a warm hug or a kind touch. Our friends and family who are living alone are some of the most vulnerable to the detrimental impacts of isolation. Others are trying to find ways to isolate even while living with family. I recently saw a video clip of a boy running to give his father, who was just returning home from work, a hug. The father was dressed in scrubs, and he quickly held up his hands to stop his little boy, who then stopped in his tracks. And then the father just dropped to his knees and held his head in his hands. He was so close and yet so far. The joy of this little boy was dashed, and the father was in tears. These are the sacrifices being made to keep people safe. And of course, as we look around the world, people have been separated from loved ones for many reasons other than COVID-19. As a mother, I think of children in prison, families separated at the border, of our military overseas. For those of us who are experiencing this new level of separation from those we love, I believe this moment invites us to join in solidarity with all of those separated from loved ones. Certainly the painful separations we are choosing to experience to keep others and ourselves safe, but also the separations of those imposed on those whose freedoms have been taken away. During Holy Week, our march to the cross with Jesus, I pray that our hearts won't be shattered, but rather be broken open to the pain of separation. May we drop down into the pain with Jesus and allow ourselves to feel it. With Jesus, may we learn how to tend and nurture our grief around separation. And may Jesus help us to learn from and transform this experience into meaningful action, both now and beyond COVID-19. Our prayer focus for the day is for all of those families and those who are alone as they go through an extended time staying at home in order to lessen the impacts of COVID-19. During your prayer time today, at some point today, I invite you to pause, place your hand over your heart, and breathe deeply. Give space to your own feelings and concerns. Ask that your heart be broken open to the suffering of these days, particularly to those most isolated and alone, both because of the choices they are making to flatten the curve and for the decisions others are enforcing, particularly those of injustice. And then ask that Jesus guide your steps and all of our steps on our walk to the cross, and nurture our hope for new life beyond the cross and beyond COVID-19. Blessings to you all.